Lucid warns new cars are about to get more expensive. Hey, good news everyone. That new car you're thinking about buying. You know the one, maybe it's electric, maybe it's not. It doesn't really matter what's under the hood, because it's about to get more expensive regardless. And no, it's not because every automaker suddenly decided to add a premium feature or Napa leather to their cars. No, this time it's tariffs again. Welcome back to Critical Materials, your daily roundup for all things electric and tech in the automotive space. Today, we get a not-so-great warning from Lucid CEO about the price of new cars. Lucid CEO warns every single new car is about to get more expensive, and you know why. Lucid Motors interim CEO Mark Winterhoff has issued a stern warning. The return of Trump-era tariffs are going to slap higher costs on every new car out there. That caution doesn't just apply to made-in-China EVs or Canadian-built pickups either. It's every car, regardless of whether it's made in Beijing or Birmingham, Alabama or England, take your pick, because it doesn't matter. Every single new car out there is doomed to go up in price, according to Winterhoff's comments made to Bloomberg this week. Here is what Bloomberg has to say about Winterhoff's prediction. The industry's global supply chain means domestic manufacturers still have to import raw materials and some parts from other countries. Interim Chief Executive Officer Mark Winterhoff said in an interview with Bloomberg Television on Monday, "For the American consumers, vehicles are going to be more expensive under the tariff regime. There's no other way around it," Winterhoff said. There's a reason the supply chain is so global. As Lucid CEO points out, modern car making isn't local. It's an elaborate global dance of components and minerals that make up your new computer on wheels. That means that even if your EV rolls off the line in Texas or Ohio, the chances are that it's guts of graphite. Lithium and semiconductors came from all over the world are pretty high. Lucid isn't the first automaker to sound the alarm, it's just the latest. Still, automakers and suppliers have managed to limp by thus far. Auto executives warned in the past that enacting tariffs on the entire auto manufacturing segment would send it to a screeching halt within a matter of weeks. Yet 3 months later, the wheels of industry are still turning. So what happened? Well, the industry has been able to use its existing pandemic-era supply chain preparations and supplier relationships to figure out how to kick the can down the road. But most important are the tariff exemptions that have been like a get-out-of-jail-free card for many brands. That didn't mean that things didn't get worse for automakers, but it does mean that automakers have been able to absorb the shock by trimming features and shifting incentives. Automotive News explains, a further exemption was made for American-made parts within Canadian and Mexican-made vehicles. The 25% U.S. duty is charged only on non-American content within finished vehicles, lowering the overall impact of the tariffs on vehicles shipped into the United States from Canada and Mexico. The exemptions were vital for many part suppliers, for whom direct tariffs would have been a bridge too far, said Michael Robinet, Vice President of Forecast Strategy at SP Global Mobility. While Robinet is not convinced the tariffs, even if fully implemented, would have fully shut down the industry, he said they would have made production far more difficult and put a serious financial squeeze on suppliers. Early indications were, yes, we would have had some supply disruptions, but the fact that it didn't trickle down to the supply base as badly as we expected, with the way that the tariffs have been set, has been a reprieve. The lemon is running out of juice. Automakers have been squeezing and squeezing, and that fruit is looking more like a lemon head candy than something you'd garnish a fresh summer drink with. Basically, automakers have less wiggle room than ever in their profit margins, and that's going to start eating into other areas of the business. Research and development, for example, is expected to take one of the biggest hits. In fact, legacy automakers and new brands alike are expected to see strategic planning being one of the weakest areas over the next decade, while new programs take the bench in favor of policy adherence and cost-cutting. So if you thought China was ahead, today just wait until tomorrow. Source, reposted and summarized from Rob Stumpf at insideevs.